Danye Jones was found hanging from a tree in St. Louis, Missouri, and it was ruled a suicide. But was it? Available now, a podcast series investigating Danye's death after the uprising. Subscribe today on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you find your podcasts.
All right, I'm going to talk to this young man we talk to every single week, usually on better, there's usually better results happen the day before. Mr. Phil Esposito, the Hall of Famer. Phil, how you doing today, brother? How's life?
Hey, Phil.
Everything's good, guys. Everything good with you guys?
Yeah, I can't complain, Phil. It was a tough game to watch.
I'm still pissed.
Yeah, Jay's still pissed. He had his rant earlier.
I was pissed,
He
Phil.
had veins coming out of his head and all those kind of things. Let me say this, Phil. I played a lot of sports, and not only to a certain level, and I know how some things feel. I have no idea what it feels to get cross-checked in the back like that. What does that feel like?
Awful. Ribs. He got him in the ribs.
Yeah, he
pretty
did.
Good too.
Yep.
And then the same guy did it to Stamkos at the end of the period. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, there isn't anybody. I was did this show up in Canada just a little while ago, and that's all they're talking about is how bad the officiating has been in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And it has. It's been bad for both sides. Don't get me wrong. I mean, just little things that they let go. The cross-checking is insane.
Yeah.
Why they're letting that all go. I don't understand that. And they cross-check. And I'm not saying just, for example, the Islanders. You watch the other series, the same thing. And the Lightning do it too. I'm not saying they're not doing it, but I don't understand it. That stick, the cross-check on the back is the worst. The worst I ever got was by Dennis Potvin in 1979 playoffs. We beat the Islanders. Greshner scores a goal from just inside the blue line on a long shot. I was standing in front of the net. And as I put my stick up, Dennis gave it to me. And I can tell you I've had back surgery because of it. So cross-checking is a very dangerous thing, very dangerous. And I don't get why the officials allow it so much. And it seems to me that it's getting worse and worse and worse. And it's not only the other team, it's the Lightning too. But if they do it, you do it. I just heard you guys talking about that.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
But, look, the Barzal cross-check on Jan Rutta, if it was during the regular season, he would have got a game suspension. I can understand why you don't give him a game suspension in the playoffs like that. I do understand that, and that's fine. But that was a deliberate attempt to hurt. And there's no doubt in my mind that was a deliberate attempt to hurt Kucherov. And do we do it? Absolutely. I don't know whether we do it to deliberately hurt a guy. I'm not on that ice. You can only look by and then the replays. But honestly, I'm frustrated by the officiating. The officiating when I was playing was, we all thought it was lousy then too as players. But it's gotten worse. And I said this 12, 15 years ago. I remember on this panel I was on, and they were talking about expansion and how are they going to get the players and all this other stuff. And I said, listen, I wouldn't worry about the players. You can get players. The players are going to play. You're going to get them from everywhere. You've got to do something about training these officials a lot better. And I said that 12 to 15 years ago, and I've been saying it ever since. And it's not getting any better. It's getting worse.
Phil, I can't agree with you more, man. And then you look at when the Islanders went down by all those goals in Game 5, you see Clutterbuck with the late hit. Stop me if you've heard that before. He's had about 4 or 5 in this series where the puck's way gone and he's hitting guys.
Yeah.
Palmieri sticks his leg out and trips up the guy. And then the BS. All right, so if you're going to go into the game like you did yesterday and you go, okay, no call on the cross check there, but then you call that BS interference call on Sergachev where Barzal keeps his leg in there, tries to go inside out on the guy, and then flops like he got shot by a cannonball, and you call that to put the Lightning down 5-on-3. I mean, if you're going to stink, at least be consistently stink. The inconsistency drives you nuts.
That's what drives people crazy. That's what drives the players crazy. You're absolutely right about that. And the funny thing is, Matt Martin, at least I counted 4 times. One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, then Matt Martin hit the guy. The puck was already gone. He got Chernak the same way.
Yep.
About a late hit. Once the puck leaves the guy, you're not supposed to hit him. Now, they say finish your check. Certainly, when the guy has the puck, you absolutely hit him. But when he passes the puck and you relax a little bit. It's automatic. You relax a little bit. And when the guy hits you, you're not ready to absorb it because you don't think it's going to happen. And if it does happen, you're supposed to get a penalty for either interference or boarding or something like that. But they don't do that. They allow those late hits. And I watched after Martin did it in Game 5. He was doing it then too. And I tried to see last game whether the Lightning were doing that. There was only one instance that I saw, and I'd rather not mention his name. He hit with a late hit one time. But the Islanders do it all the time. Mm-hmm. And they're told to do it. Don't get me wrong. They're told to do it. Because Trotz knows the referees aren't going to call it.
I think
why not?
I think as fans, all we want, Phil, is consistency. I think on both sides. Now, as a Lightning fan, I did not like what I saw in the third period. Being up to 2-0, I thought they turtled a little bit. It got to a point where I even said, "Oh no," because it got to a point where we stopped trying to score and set up offensively and just trying to dump the puck out. I didn't like the way they were turtling a little bit in that third period yesterday.
No, I couldn't agree more. And they didn't have a shot until the 8-minute mark left in the period, and because they were turtling. And then all of a sudden, when the Islanders scored to tie it up, the Lightning came on pretty well, and they had 8 or 9 shots in that last 8 minutes and a couple of big saves by Varlamov. But you can't win doing that. You can't. You've got to play the 20 minutes and the 60 minutes. If you don't play 60 minutes in this game nowadays, you're not going to win.
Agreed, Phil. And I think you love the flip play at times because you can kind of get the puck out of the zone. But Braden Point said after the game they got too flip happy. Instead of trying to look for that pass to start that transition offense, you go too much into the flip game, and it's just too much. Let's say Cooch doesn't go tomorrow, Phil. What do you do on the power play? I mean, everybody, I know, right? People go, oh, just put Palat there. Listen, they're not going to honor the half board there because he just doesn't have the same shot. He's not the same playmaker. So for me, I think Victor Hedman really has to take the bull by the horns. You say this a lot too. Your best players have to be your best players. I think Game 7 is going to be huge for Victor Hedman. What say you?
I hope so, because I didn't think he played very well last game.
Agreed.
I didn't think he played well at all. And, I'm going to throw a name out there that I'd love to see on the power play on that if Cooch can't go, and that's Ross Colton.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I love that because he shoots.
He shoots.
He shoots.
And if he shoots, that means Stamkos and Hedman are going to be more open.
No doubt. Well, we were asking.
Palat looks to pass.
Yep.
Palat does look to pass mostly. And and that's the second unit. And I just think that you got to have a guy over there that can create a play, but also don't hesitate, shoot the stinking puck.
Period. And we had people, we were asking earlier who would give the pregame speech, and you got a couple votes for that. What I saw yesterday, Phil, in that game, it looked like all of a sudden the Lightning looked like they're deep in the playoffs physically, okay? It looked like they were beating us up, and I don't know if it was mentally, physically dirty or what, but it just looked like all of a sudden the playoff, being this deep in it, was really starting to affect us. Did you see that a little bit?
A little bit. I thought they looked a little tired, but they got down. Ross Colton went out too, also on a late hit by Matt Martin. but he came back and played, and I thought he played pretty well when they changed along and put Cirelli with Point and Palat, and they put Colton with Goodrow and Coleman, and moved Yanni Gord with Killorn and Stamkos. And I thought that Colton played pretty darn well at center. He's originally a centerman. So maybe they do that. And I thought Cirelli had his best game last night.
Agreed.
I thought he was terrific.
Yeah, usually, when you switch those lines up a little bit, whoever steps up on that top line really does, and that was a beautiful goal for him. And Phil, I got to ask you, what are your feelings going into Game 7 tomorrow night? I'm usually a pretty optimistic guy. I don't know if I'm still PO'd because of what happened last night. I just don't know how to feel going into this Game 7 because of the uncertainty of Kucherov and how Game 6 ended. What are your feelings going into the game tomorrow night?
I'm pretty much like you, Jay. I'm not completely certain, but one thing I do know. I counted myself. The Lightning gave the puck away close, I think it was 18 or 19 times. I counted 18. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And we've been talking about that all year long.
Yep.
Of turning the puck over in your own zone, turning the puck over at the blue line. In fact, the winning goal was a complete turnover. Mm-hmm. The guy makes a mistake. Okay, God bless him. He made the mistake. Forget about it. Come back. But let me say this. When you kill a 5-on-3 like they did, 8 of the 10 times you win the game.
Agreed.
Understandable. Now, before we
and they did a good job killing that penalty, boy. They did a real good job. I thought Jan Ruda was awesome in that penalty kill. So, because let's not forget, I think it was Hedman and McDonough in the box, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hedman and Sergachev. Yeah. Hedman and Sergachev were in the box. So McDonough was great too at that penalty kill, real great. And that's the type of effort you want. If the Lightning play their game, the Islanders can't get them. They can't.
Phil,
that's the way I believe.
Before we let you leave here real quick, who do you like in the game tonight, Canadians and the Golden Knights? You been watching that at all?
I'll watch some of it. Yeah, I'd like to see the Golden Knights win.
Good.
I want them to go to 7 games.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
And play Saturday, and then go from there. But Montreal, I don't know what the hell is.
Seriously,
they are so tenacious. Every one of those guys playing is giving it everything they've got, every shift. And that's what the Lightning's got to do tomorrow night.
I love it. Phil, you're the best, brother. You know that. And hopefully we get it taken care of tomorrow night. And we'll definitely be talking to you next week.
Thanks, Phil.
You got it. Take care, guys.
All right.
See you, man.
Be good.
The Wendy's restaurant in your area has issued a major bag alert.
Bag alert, major bag alert.
The bacon double stack is back in the biggie bag with fries, nugs, and a drink, all for just $5. The following are to be expected: joy, disbelief, inability to think about anything else. This deal is effective immediately, and it's only at Wendy's.
Major bag alert. Bag alert. Major
Biggie bag includes 4-piece nuggets, small fry, and small drink. U.S. price and participation may vary.